Hey everybody, Doug Rucker here with PressureCleaningschool.com and DougRuckerStore.com. Hey, I had a viewer ask about how to put a adjustable wand together. So I thought I'd give you a couple of tips on how to do that and some options for usage. So stay tuned for a couple of tips on that next. Okay everybody, when you get ready to put one of these together, an adjustable wand, and I just always like to kind of show off some of the products that we sell at the store, some of our solutions, the oils that we use for our machines, and of course the Kingslinger, best soft wash system out there that you can get. But to the adjustable wand, things that you'll need are of course your gun, and you'll need the adjustable wand. This is a straight lance. It's my favorite kind to use. It's the only one that we sell. And then I've got another one over here that's already kind of set up, an old one. And we've got the little adapter that you'll need at the end of the wand. And then we've got a Mossmatic gun swivel, 1/4 inch. If you so desire to have that, that's an option. You don't have to have that on there. And then we've got our 1/4 inch male pipe thread socket, quick coupler for the end. And then these are the tools that you'll need. I like using open-ended wrenches whenever possible. So 5/8, 3/4, 13/16, and a 7/8. But you can do it with just adjustable if you want to. And of course some Teflon tape, and you'll also need some type of lock seal, thread sealant or tape sealant, whatever you want to call it. And so that's pretty basic, the tools. You'll also need a coupler for the end of your gun or plug, whichever you use. I use the coupler down here, and I'll show you that at the end. So let's get into putting one together, coming up next. Okay guys, real quick, just to give you a little rundown of the tools that I showed you before and what they fit. The 13/16 is going to fit your socket, whichever one you decide to use, whether it's the male or the female. So that fits that real good. 9/16 is going to fit your little soap fitting, 1/4 inch soap fitting. 5/8 is going to fit the little bushing that goes on the end. The 3/4 open end socket will fit this side of the gun swivel. The other side, I just use an adjustable wrench. And then for the socket fitting for the gun, I just use an adjustable fitting, adjustable again. And so that's pretty much the tools that you use. It's really a lot easier if you've got a good vise. Put everything together with a couple of these. Remember to Teflon seal everything again and use a little bit of lock seal or whatever type of dope you want to use that's going to help seal it up. And then, just snug them up. Don't over tighten. You just want them to be nice and snug. Don't force them, and that'll help everything last together, prevent cracking and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the first thing you want to decide when you're putting one of these together is to decide if you're going to use a Mossmatic gun swivel. Basically the gun swivel is going to allow you to rotate the wand back and forth without having to, bend your hose, whatever. If you've got a pressure washing gun assembly, then you're pretty familiar with what these do. There's one on here, and so if I were to take the gun and put it on here, so basically what this does is allows you to twist your gun so that you can change the angle of the pattern of the nozzle on the end of it. I don't know if you can see the chemical nozzle, but it can go from like a vertical to a horizontal just by twisting the wand. And so it makes it a lot easier instead of having to stop, grab your nozzle, pull it out, twist it, wherever you want. It just makes it a whole lot easier to control. So if you're going a crossways, cleaning like this, and then you need to go up and down, you can simply rotate the gun and be able to do that pretty easy. So that's the first thing that you have to decide, if you want the gun swivel on there or not. It's not a necessity, but it sure is a huge convenience when you're cleaning, and just makes things a whole lot easier. So I'm not going to tape any of these things, any of these fittings, because that would just take a lot of time, but you're always going to want to use Teflon tape and some type of thread sealant. So when you put it on with the gun swivel for the gun, you would put this on first, and then your gun would of course go right here. So that pretty much would set up the body, and then like I said, I use the coupler on the end because my plug plugs into the coupler on all my guns. I always have mine set up where the plug points the way of the water. So if your hose is coming this way, then the plug would go right into here. Some guys like to have the plug coming off, and so they would have the socket on the end of the hose, which would go into the plug. It's just a personal preference thing. Whichever you just desire or want to do, that's fine. I've just always been taught plug points the way of the water, so that's how I have mine set up. So that's how you would set up the gun. And if you did not want to have the swivel on there, then you would simply just attach your gun here. And of course, when you got ready to, and I always get mine so that the gun is is pointing down along with the little pistol grip. Some guys like to have it where it's to the sideways like this. To me, it's just easier to control like this. So the gun is going down like the pistol grip. And so when you do it this way without the swivel, you just have to turn the whole gun when you want to change the angle of that pattern like I talked about previously. So that's how you set up the gun end. Next, we'll talk about how you set up the nozzle end. So these adjustable guns are basically made, I'm still here, how y'all doing? These adjustable guns are basically made for downstreaming, so that when you turn this pistol grip all the way down, you've got a nozzle here that's going to come out, that's going to have your soap or your bleach mix come out. And when you rotate it back up, it's going to be full pressure, and nothing but water would come out of here. We don't use these for downstreaming. We use them mainly for just trimming and cleaning around delicate areas. So it's never really hooked up to bleach. It just always has water running through it. Because when you're rinsing with this and it's up all the way full, it could be some pretty good pressure depending on the gallon per minute of the machine that you're using. And I'll link a video right up above here that you can click on that will show you how we use our adjustable guns, like on brick or something. I'll find a video that I think will help you guys see it in action, and that'll be linked right up above. So at the beginning of the video, I talked to you about that you would need a male pipe thread 1/4 inch socket like this. And you can use that. I'm going to show you a different way that I like to use it, and I'll show you why. But this can be used, and then you'll need a soap nozzle just like this for the bottom barrel. I call it a double barrel adjustable gun. But so you'd need that, and you'd need this. And then the way I do it and the way we send these guns is, or these adjustable ones, is we have an actual 1/4 by 1/4 threaded fitting, and I actually use a female socket when I'm putting mine together. But just wanted to show you the two different options and why I do it the way that I do it. So I'll show you that next. Okay, when you get ready to put together the discharge in where the actual water will come out, there is on here a little separator. You have to loosen this in order to move it like I'm doing, and I just use a little small adjustable along with a Phillips, but I loosen it a little bit when I'm putting it together, and I'll show you why in just a second. But as I was explaining to you, the bottom barrel is the one that when you rotate the pistol grip all the way down is going to draw your mix out if you're using it for downstreaming. And then when you turn the pistol grip all the way back up, then it shuts this off and nothing but water comes out. And of course, depending on the nozzle you're using, it could be pretty high pressure unless you're using one, a nozzle like from a downstream J-rod or whatever. So the way you can put these in is you can put your soap tip in like this. And what you'd want to do when you do this is make sure that the angle on this is going sideways, not up and down like that. You want it sideways, okay? So that's how you do the soap nozzle. And then if you're going to use the male fitting, you'd put the male fitting in right here. And the reason you have to take this apart, take this little separator and loosen it so that you can put your finger between and lift this up a little bit in order to get this socket totally in. So you see how I've got it separated? So that's how you would do that. The problem with this way that I don't like is the 1/4 inch rubs against this. When I'm totally done, either way that you do it, you want to move this all the way to here and then tighten down the little separator here. But the way I like to do it is I leave my soap nozzle in where it is located, and then I use the little 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch extender, little bushing that we can put in here, and that's got a little hex on here so that you can tighten it all the way down. And then I use the female socket to put on that, and so that helps it not only to stick out a little bit further, but it helps it not to rub against the socket. And then when I bring the separator up here, it'll kind of spread a little bit and give you just a little space so these two things aren't rubbing together. So that's how I set mine up. I've got the 1/4 inch bushing, and again, this part comes with it when you purchase the downstream injector, not the downstream injector, the adjustable wand from us. So you automatically get that part so that you can set it up. You do have to purchase the socket. I believe you got to purchase the soap tip as well. And then of course you'd have to purchase a gun, because it only comes, when we sell it, it only comes like this. Okay, the end's going to be like that, and then it's going to be like this. So again, that's how I set mine up. Of course, everything's going to be Teflon taped and had thread sealant on it. So put it in like that, and then the soap tip. Again, this is loose, so I can spread this apart so that I can get my soap tip on here. And so make sure you see how the angle of that soap nozzle, I'm trying to get the camera, is up and down. So if you start spraying and you turn the pistol grip down, your solution is going to hit this and it's going to spray all over the place and you can't control it. So you've got to make sure that this is going horizontal like that, and then it's going to spray out like that because you don't want it spraying up. Okay, so that's how you set that up. Pull this back up, tighten it down with your Phillips screwdriver, and this sometimes has a tendency to slide even when you get it tight. So I always just move it all the way back up to there and tighten it down. I have put a little zip tie behind here just to kind of keep it from moving sometimes, but that's a good way to control that. So that's how you put it together. Again, if you're using the Mossmatic gun swivel, it would go here. If I can get it to go on. And then your gun would go here. Again, Teflon tape everything, lock seal it. And then I have my socket, 3/8 socket that goes here again, because I'm putting in on the end of my hose is going to be the plug. So that's how it would look, totally set up the way that we do it. And love adjustable wands. They're really great for doing detail work around where you want to control your pressure, especially if you're soft washing using a pressure washer. You can use the green tips. I'm grabbing one right now and I'm looking for, so you can use, you know, green or the yellow tips that come with your machine. It'll control the pressure. It's what we use to edge out driveways, sidewalks, things like that, where there's mulch or rocks, or we just don't want to blow stuff. We use it for cleaning bricks, limestone. You can also actually put your J-rod in this if you wanted to use it for that, or a shooter tip. This is our new shooter tip called the Slingshot coming out. So multiple ways that you can use this, and really help you to control your pressure at your gun. That's the main thing that we use it for. We do not use it for downstreaming, but that's how you would set it up. Okay, so don't forget, hit me up with a comment or a question if you have it. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell and that notification so that you get notifications every time I come out with a video. And if you have a video or a question or something you'd like me to shoot a video, hit me up with it in the comments below, and I'll try to get it on schedule and get it produced for you and put it out there. So thank you so much. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll talk to y'all later.